Hi guys, this is a quick update on the coronavirus, COVID-19, and unlike what you hear in the media, I would like to give a little positive information. From what I've been tracking every day, the statistics is that we may have plateaued as a nation. I know we still may have some hot spots, but there seems to appear from the statistics, this is based on statistics every day that's published through the CDC, that we have a nation, we have flattened, but we know in certain communities we must continue the efforts to keep the virus down. But this video is not about that. This video is the hope and the treatment. Now, we know there's not an official treatment for COVID-19. However, I've been watching all these many trials going on across the country, and it's two treatment therapies that stand out to me. The first and foremost is plasma therapy, in which you're transferring the immunity of recovered patients to newly sick patients or severely sick patients. This is ultimately the best case scenario, where you're transferring immunity. That's how our body works. And we would like, but the problem is, it may not be enough recovered victims or patients to effectively transfer immunity to all the cases we have in this country. So that leads us to our second treatment that's showing hints of promise, or signs of promise, and that is with the remdesivir. Remdesivir is like an antiviral, and it's showing initial success in all these many trials going on around the country. And I say there's smaller number of these trials, but I think we need to come up with a way of adding all this information together to get a bigger picture. Now, I've seen the patients seem to recover quickly, and I think we could use that the remdesivir in areas where you don't have enough of the plasma therapy from recovered victims. You can use the remdesivir, and then as more victims recover, you can use the plasma treatment. I know right now it's too early to tell, but I think the only way we're going to get a clear picture or an understanding of how these treatments work is that we use it on more patients. Now, in this situation, I believe, from my point as a patient, if I was a patient, I would want my doctor to give me greater input in my treatment. I've seen cases or videos where people are actually literally begging for these treatments, and they're only giving it to the sickest of the sick. And then I've seen videos where the sickest of the sick has gotten remdesivir and recovered quickly, and it left them wondering why they didn't get this treatment earlier. And this hard time, I don't know, I believe if we're going to use compassion in the equation, let's not wait till the end to start treating these patients. Let's try and be a little bit proactive. As long as the patient is willing and wanting, as long as we continue to see results, because definitely speaking, this is at the initial early stages. But I think in this situation, it may be a good idea to, as we hear more positive results, to expand the use of these treatments quicker rather than later, so we could get an even better picture. This is just a glimmer of hope. It's a beginning. It's not a cure-all. There is no cure as of yet. There's no official treatment as of yet. But watching these, just by facts, watching these videos of recovered patients, watching these statistics from leaked trials, and watching even initial trials going into the next step trials and showing the results of these initial trials, these two therapies are showing promise. Let's give it some support, so that we can get to treat the patients that are in need, and we can get through this plague that's happening to our country. Because as an American, I want us to succeed, and I want us to recover. I want us to rejoin the global community.